Manila Airport, also known as Ninoy Aquino International Airport, first opened its doors in 1948. At its inception, it was a modest and unassuming airport, but over the years, it has expanded into a vast and bustling hub. The airport's international wing alone sees approximately 2.5 million passengers annually, while its domestic wing accommodates around 5 million travelers. With such high foot traffic, the airport is a hive of activity, with passengers and their luggage traversing its terminals and concourses around the clock. Given the constant flow of people and goods, the risk of crime and illegal activities is ever present. As a result, airport security personnel must remain vigilant 24/7. Working as a security officer in an airport certainly has its highs and lows, pun intended. There are periods when nothing particularly noteworthy or exciting occurs for weeks on end. During these times, one simply observes a steady stream of travelers coming and going, their luggage filled with the usual array of mundane essentials. Manny was a seasoned security officer with over 3 decades of experience under his belt, and he had encountered every imaginable scenario during his tenure. While the quiet moments were appreciated as signs of safety and tranquility, Manny knew that the airport environment could quickly shift to one of high stakes and intense action. Throughout his career, Manny had intercepted individuals attempting to smuggle drugs in and out of the country. He had also uncovered large sums of illicit cash being transferred clandestinely. Manny had thwarted plots, apprehended fleeing suspects, and bravely confronted uncooperative and aggressive passengers. Despite the inherent risks, Manny found fulfillment in his role, knowing that he played a crucial part in maintaining the safety and security of Manila Airport and airports worldwide. Recognizing the immense volume of passengers and luggage passing through the airport each day, Manny and his colleagues relied on a team of highly trained dogs. These canine companions were adept at detecting drugs and other illegal substances, guiding their handlers to the source of the scent. Suspects were subjected to thorough searches, and luggage underwent meticulous inspection, ensuring that potential threats were swiftly identified and neutralized. The sniffer dogs were trained to identify a person or item of luggage with a clear and direct indication. Normally active and excitable, the dogs would freeze and then zero in, pointing their noses at the suspected target. This unmistakable signal alerted handlers to the exact location of the suspicious person or item. It was a straightforward yet effective method that rarely faltered. Although there had been a rare false alarm over the years, the sniffer dogs consistently and accurately identified illegal substances or banned items. They were an indispensable part of the security team, and Manny recognized that his security force would not be as effective or efficient without them. However, one day, an unexpected event occurred that caught everyone off guard, including the dogs themselves. On what seemed like any other day, Manny arrived at work early, around 4:00 a.m. After preparing a coffee and chatting with colleagues, Manny made his way to the kennels to retrieve the sniffer dogs. He spent some time playing fetch with them, recognizing that despite their important job, they were still dogs that enjoyed attention and play. He then walked 3 of the dogs back to his colleagues and handed 2 over to them. Manny kept the third, a well-trained dog who almost never made any mistakes. Checking the clock, he realized it was time for the security team to sweep the airport, ensuring everything was in order and safe. Manny and his dog took the left-hand side of the concourse, while his 2 colleagues and their dogs took the middle and right-hand side. As they walked, the dogs sniffed at passing passengers. Manny would smile, wave at people, and occasionally stop to let a curious child pet the dog, even though it wasn't strictly allowed. Manny believed that maintaining a positive relationship with the public was crucial for doing a good job, and the dogs always loved the attention. Suddenly, Manny's dog started pulling on the lead, an uncommon behavior for the well-trained animal. Manny knew that when this happened, he should let go of the leash and follow the dog. Swerving through the crowds of people rushing to catch their flights, the dog led Manny to a large unattended suitcase. The dog began barking, a behavior that caught Manny's attention. Approaching the suitcase, Manny studied it as the dog continued barking and yelping. It was as if the dog was trying to communicate something beyond its training. Sitting and pointing with his nose, the dog's persistent barking echoed through the airport. Soon the other dogs approached, and they too began behaving unusually, indicating that they sensed something highly irregular about the luggage. Manny immediately realized that the unattended case posed a serious security threat. While airports were often targets for terrorists, something about the situation felt different. The dog's behavior was too erratic for it to be a bomb. The dog's persistent barking indicated that there was something inside the large case that needed to be investigated. Manny and his colleagues moved the luggage to an office and placed it on a table. Despite its weight, they were determined to uncover its contents. Opening the case, Manny was taken aback by what he saw. Inside were 1,000 rare turtles, 43 iguanas, a gecko, and even a python valued at an estimated $150,000. This was unlike anything Manny or his security team had ever encountered. Realizing they were ill-equipped to handle the situation, Manny instructed one of his colleagues to contact the local animal shelter for assistance. Within an hour, the animal shelter team arrived and began documenting the animals. Sadly, some of the animals had not survived the journey. The discovery of these exotic animals in the airport left Manny and his team stunned, highlighting the unpredictability of their job and the need to remain vigilant at all times. Fortunately, many of the animals had survived and only required some care and attention. It was truly remarkable that the python, iguanas, and geckos had managed to endure the ordeal. Despite the security team's efforts to locate the owner of the case, they found no one in the vicinity. Reviewing the security footage, they identified the man who had abandoned the massive case upon seeing the security team and sniffer dogs. The moment when the dog approached the case and began incessantly barking, it was clear that the man had fled in a panic, leaving the animals behind. Thankfully, most of the animals were rescued and taken to a shelter where they received medical treatment and care. Eventually, they would be transferred to a sanctuary where they could thrive in a safe environment. The outcome could have been much worse had the animals not been intercepted. Manny reflected on the events of that day, knowing it was a shift he would never forget. The incident served as a reminder of the unexpected challenges that could arise in his line of work, but also of the importance of remaining vigilant and responsive to ensure the safety and well-being of all.